On this quarantine edition of Wildcat Weekly, supporting healthcare workers and a Wildcat you should know. All this and more coming up next. Hello and welcome to this third quarantine edition of Wildcat Weekly. I'm your host, Dominic Liacani. NEQA special education teachers are also experiencing changes during the stay-at-home period. Noelle talks with NEQA's special education vocational coordinator.
My name is Sarah Mayer. I'm the vocational coordinator in the special education department at NEQA, and I've been working at NEQA for 21 years. Every day is a little bit different. I might be out in at work sites, helping students, helping different staff members who act as job coaches, supervising the work site, supervising the job coach, helping the students learn work skills. The students I work with have a very different way of getting involved with the community after they finish high school. So now it's really just, instead of driving over to the school building, it's walking downstairs from my bedroom and getting into my makeshift office and seeing what I can help my students and families with today. At our house, my husband, he works out of the home, has his own home office, so he's allowed myself to have a little space in the office. So we've taken the conference table and we divided it in two, and I have one half, and that's where I work primarily. Well, of course, students are used to going out in the community and working at different places. So we've been trying to replicate different work activities at their homes. And then students and parents are sharing pictures with me on a weekly basis. So I get to see what kind of work they're doing at their homes. And we're kind of focusing on independent living skills, as well as some job seeking and job keeping skills that are part of our curriculum with the class too. You know, I'm not used to working at home. I've never had to work at home my whole life. I Zoom with my class every week, and that's so nice to be able to talk with students face to face and see them and check in with them. And I think that's one of the most important parts of e-learning, is staying connected with your students and your colleagues.
Thank you to all the teachers who have had to work from home to help their students be successful. And for Wildcat Weekly, along with
Sarah Mayer,
I'm Noelle Mayer.
Earlier this year, we had Counselor Appreciation Week and Social Worker Day. The week of May 4th is Teacher Appreciation Week, and since we can't thank you in person, we asked a few Wildcats to help us out. With many Wildcats discovering new hobbies and activities in quarantine, Haley takes a look into one student that is making money as well.
Elise Noonan is a rising senior at Nequa who has made the most of her time in quarantine. Starting with just close friends, she has expanded her shoe painting business to many other students from school.
So how I started was I literally just got so bored during quarantine. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And I picked up my old shoes and I just went at it. Like I just looked up something, look up a picture that I thought was cool, and I just started drawing it out. It was the beginning of all of this, and then people started sliding up and they were like, can you do mine? That looks so cool, whatever. And so I started doing one pair, and then I had 2 pairs, and then it just progressed from there. Now I have an Instagram. I have an Instagram up. People are DMing me. People from other schools are DMing me. A lot of people are asking me to do stuff, and it's super cool.
With her drawing skills, Elise is able to paint anything from logos to characters to words to university slogans on the shoes.
I really don't have a technique. I kind of just look at a picture and start painting or penciling it in or drawing. I just kind of go for it and hope for the best. I know it's not the best technique, but it works. I've always loved art and painting. I've done that my entire life, so just putting it on something that people are gonna wear and show off is just so sick, and I love it.
If you're interested in getting your shoes painted, feel free to DM Elise on her Instagram at Elise Customs. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Haley Yellen.
Here are some more shout-outs to our great teachers. During these uncertain times, it's important to recognize healthcare workers and all they do for us. Lexi shows you some ways you can help support them.
So social distancing is important because coronavirus is spread through contact and it's also spread airborne. And when you are in these close proximities with other people, you increase the likelihood of getting infected. And it can be spread through sneezing, coughing, any respiratory droplets, and it can even just be spread through talking. So while you might think, oh, my friends or my family, nobody's coughing or sneezing just from talking, that can also cause coronavirus to be spread, and you can be infected that way. And so that's why it's encouraged that you social distance and you stay at least 6 feet away from people, or stay home if you even can, because a lot of the times people are not symptomatic yet when they are spreading coronavirus. So as many of you guys know, there is a shortage of personal protective equipment in the hospitals. And so anyone who knows how to make masks or anything like that, if you would like to donate those to the nurses and doctors and respiratory therapists and the other healthcare workers in the hospital, that's always greatly appreciated. And as well, if you are able to donate food or gift cards to food places, because a lot of times these healthcare workers are working long shifts and then they go stay in hotels or they stay in seclusion by themselves because they don't want to infect other people if they were potentially infected. Another thing to do is just write letters, because that's always nice. A lot of the healthcare workers are isolating themselves from their families. Those are just a few tips on how you can support your local healthcare workers who are on the front lines.
If you are interested in sending a letter to a healthcare worker at Edward Hospital, you can send it to 801 South Washington Street in Naperville, Illinois. And on behalf of Neuqua Valley, we want to say thank you to all the healthcare workers out there on the front lines helping to stop the spread of coronavirus. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Lexi Mugalu.
We have some more shout outs to do for our awesome teachers. Make sure to participate in this week's Virtual Spirit Week on Instagram by tagging @Neuqua2020, @Neuqua Valley, and hashtag NVStrong. Thanks for watching this edition of Wildcat Weekly. Stay healthy and safe, Wildcats.